Roll call.
Light,
Here.
Longshine,
Here.
Wolfgang,
Here.
Kuchar,
Yes, here.
Campbell,
Here.
Fitzpatrick,
Here.
and Cleese is absent.
Brief public input. We'll just double check with Zoom that there's no, that they can hear us. Just call out brief public input.
Brief public input.
Nothing? Okay. Approval of agenda.
I would like to have something pulled from the agenda. Resolution 2021-03 to spend remainder of 2018 bond money.
Pulled meaning removed from the agenda.
Yeah, removed. I'm sorry. I've been working with John Axe on this, and at this point, we're not even sure if we need this resolution because the county is the one that issued the bonds, not us. So he is checking into that for us.
Do you realize we go 11, 12, 13, 12, 13?
Any other changes to the agenda? Huh?
I was gonna say, that's why the, number 5 on the, that wasn't in our packet. That's why.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, good.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, good.
No other changes?
I would move to approve the agenda with the change removing resolution 2021-03.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve the agenda with the removal of item number 5, resolution 2021-03. Roll call.
Campbell,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Longshine,
Yes.
Kuchar,
Yes.
Light,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Number 6, declaration of conflict of interest.
I could have one. New business, number 4, request for reimbursement, Vance Road. That's my cousin. That's Josh and Annette, and I talked to their mother at least every other week about our 93-year-old aunt. But also, we talk about our kids, and we she praises her kids, her grandkids, and I acknowledge that and all that, so we're very close, okay? So, I'm gonna say that.
But you wouldn't gain financially.
Yeah, I may have I probably have a conflict because I'm always, the people that bring it is Annette and Josh, and I'm always agreeing with their mother that they're great people. And how great that Josh has been through the years. So I think I might have a conflict there, and I talk about them every other week, okay, with their mother.
It's
Okay.
technically not the definition of a conflict.
Yeah, I
There's no
don't have
financial
any,
gains
I don't have
or-
any money involved or whatever, so I don't think you, wouldn't be a conflict?
No.
I just want to bring it up, okay?
Okay.
Perfect, okay, thanks.
Anything else? Presentation, special report. Brad's at Garfield. I'm just gonna do a quick report there and then slide in when he was finished there, so he'll be here. Community police officer.
Good evening, I'm Matt Kraszewski, Blair Township Community Police Officer.
How you doing, Matt?
Good, thank you. The March 2021 report, arrests 2, citations 6, complaints 42, traffic crashes 5, warrants attained 3. I put some pictures and sent around the little folder. I visited Head Start on the 17th and the 24th. I think I missed last year because of COVID, so. And the kids from 3 years ago are still there, so they were pretty happy to see me. It's always a lot of fun. The teachers and staff there are tons of fun. So we have a lot of fun. Pantry shelf was broken into on the 24th. A 12-year-old boy at 12:30 a.m. broke in. I did not handle this complaint, but I read the report. Broke in and then the alarm went off and when the police got there, they had a little foot chase and they caught him. And he had taken liquor and vape pens. But the owner decided, after talking to his parents, not to press any charges against him. So they worked something out. Lastly, the bracket challenge update, very bottom.
Did you put that in
I don't know if you were all aware, but during March Madness, the college basketball tournament, Tracy, Jerome, and Jake and I had a little challenge, and unfortunately, I was the winner.
Very good.
And it's lunch tomorrow.
Yes, there was a wager. Any questions?
Grand Traverse County Road Commissioner Report. I do have a phone call into Grand Traverse County Road about having the commissioner come to our meetings, especially right now with all the traffic construction that's going on. And then following is nonstop. And we also need to have a conversation. The guy's name, and Andy, you probably know him, I don't. Jay, can't even pronounce his last name.
He was there just as I was leaving.
The new
Okay.
superintendent, Jay.
Okay.
What they very interesting last week for people.
Yep, he wants to have some conversations about entering into some partnership projects with the road grinding stuff. So we're playing phone tag right now and he's up, so. We'll have more next month, I'm sure, or even this week. I can shoot out an email after you and I connect. Treasurer's report.
All right, general fund, $3,862,466. Public safety fund, $1,071,479. Ambulance fund, $905,090. Metro Act fund, $4,435. Liquor law enforcement is $30,036. CARES Act is $27,530. Sewer fund is $1,766,955. Water fund is $2,317,042. Current tax collection is $16,448. Payroll clearing is a negative $22,165. Milfoil fund is $12,206 for a total of $9,991,523.05.
Thanks, Tracy.
Announcements and correspondence.
I just have one quick thing. I put, at everybody's table, a copy. At the budget meetings, we went through policies, and this is one of the policies that was gonna be rewritten. We're not taking any action on it tonight, but I wanted everybody to have a chance to look at it, because the handbook, the code of ethics, and the policies will be coming to the May meeting for adoption. So if you have anything, please let me know.
Thank you.
And you can see on the agenda, Captain Scott Allman came over a couple weeks ago. Said that his wife and her place of business, do they call it a red day, it's a volunteer day. And they have offered and are wanting to do the Vance Road cleanup. Doesn't fall in the time period that Grand Traverse County Road does it for the May cleanup. It's a week later. But all that means is you can't leave the garbage bags alongside the road, the county's not gonna come and pick them up. But as we've done it before in the past, outside of that time period, we've just used our own dumpster here.
Yeah.
So they've got the t-shirts, the vests, it's
It's
It's on
awesome.
them, and Scott was estimating probably close to 30 of them. And I know our, they discussed it in their union meeting, so I believe Fire and EMS is gonna participate with this group of people, but it's the weekend after our township cleanup day, which generally falls on our shoulders, so we're in the clear for spring Vance Road cleanup.
God,
Yeah. And our township cleanup day is May 8th, 8 to noon.
Can we trade them? They can do the cleanup.
Either way.
We'll do Vance Road.
I know. The construction on the batting cage, actual construction hasn't started, but the marking is in place. This weekend, Scott and I brought down a tractor for the Little League people to use. Elmer's dumped a load of diamond dust, so they are working on the back ball field right now, getting the diamond dust spread on all of them. Scott's gonna be bringing down a rake, I think that's what it's called, it's an implement for the back of the tractor, so they can start pulling all the weeds, and their goal is to, besides the batting cage, but to have that back field up to major league field status. Mike Richards is working hard out there, which we are really lucky to have him on board.
Do you know if the drug take back days, he just walked out? Yeah.
Right? I can shoot a text. That's all I have. Does anybody have anything else?
I don't.
Consent calendar. Purpose of the consent calendar is to expedite business by grouping non-controversial items together to be dealt with in one board motion without discussion. Any member of the board may ask that any item of the consent calendar be removed and placed elsewhere on the agenda for full discussion. Such requests will be automatically respected.
I'd like to pull the budget from workshop for March 31st.
Anything else?
You wanna talk about it now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I took note of this, cause it's always said when I'm not in the room, which people don't have the cojones to say it in front of me, so I have to read it. Board member Wolfgang brought to the board's attention that treasurer is not following credit card policy. I believe I'm not the only one that doesn't follow it, but I have spoken with board member Wolfgang on this, and I won't follow it, and I'll tell you why. I have in the past have ordered something for somebody. It hasn't been received, but we paid for it because it went right to approval. And that, so I don't think anything should go in until it is received in-house and signed off by the person that has received it. So, just to make that clear, I won't be submitting receipts within the next working day if I'm waiting for product.
I have something to say about that. Tracy, the reason I brought it up when I did, and I told everybody at the meeting, I said, I'm not doing this because Tracy's not here. I'm doing it because we are going over the policies, and at the previous board meeting, you said, well, about one of the other policies, well, why have a policy if we aren't gonna follow it?
Right, I'm not gonna follow that policy.
Okay, well, then it needs to be amended somehow. I can't just, I'm not gonna just say, well, the township has a policy, I'm not
Well,
gonna
and
follow
nothing
it.
was said to me, I had to bring this up, and nothing was said, but I could get text during my vacation. But
Because
yet-
I was trying to get,
But yet, nobody has said this to me, to my face, it's only in written, as it has been done in the past when I've missed a board meeting. My name has come out as such, but never to my face, and I appreciate that.
So perhaps what we need to do, and I don't know if you guys, because I'm here every day with them, I know what she's talking about. We had ordered, when COVID first was COVID, we had ordered a fogger. EMS ordered a fogger. Well, we got charged for it.
In September.
Yep, and the product never came, never arrived, never came, and I think Tracy and Eric had discovered that. So that's Tracy's point, is
Several months later, Grant brought it to our attention.
because that receipt was turned in right away, it was paid right away, and we never received the product. So her point is that rather than saying I'm not gonna follow the policy, we need to readdress the credit card
Right.
policy.
Yeah, and I have
perhaps
addressed that
tweak it and-
prior.
I know, but now is when we're working on the policies, so now is the time to make the corrections that would make it, because that makes sense, right? To pay for something
Right,
before we get it, but it needs to be addressed, not just saying I'm not gonna follow that policy, because that's not. So we'll readdress the credit card purchasing policy and see if we can rewrite it, put some words in there to address it. So we do have a policy that's applicable to our new policies and procedures.
right, yeah, because, I won't put,
And when
Something
Lynette brought this
inside-
up, that wasn't the case of purchasing something, that was just you forgot to turn in a receipt. And
no, one of it was checks, my checks.
Well-
And again, I ordered my checks and it takes a couple weeks to get to me. I'm not going to turn in a receipt, and I spoke to her previously about this, that I wasn't going to do this. And my whole theory is, I can get silly text messages on my vacation, but this gets buried in with my name derogatory, and that because nobody has the cojones to say it to my face.
I explained why it was brought up when it was.
And
And-
I'm not you tell me that I'm the only person that does not turn in the receipt within 24 hours.
again, we'll pull the credit card purchasing, we'll pull that out. We'll look at it, try to reword it, try to tweak it so it's applicable, so that we have, before we're paying for a product, we have the product
Right.
in our
hand.
possession. We gotta be cautious so we don't get late fees and penalties
Right.
and stuff like that.
I do want to say this, the other receipt was for the MTA conference.
Yeah,
Well, that, she clearly could have,
clearly I could have.
You forgot.
Right.
What's the name?
At the end of tax season, I clearly could have done a whole lot, but I didn't.
I think, when this was brought up, it was mainly because reconciling monthlies, you needed a receipt in order to.
Right.
So
Right,
that's what it was all about.
I
That's
get
it.
that, but it goes back to the same thing with the fogger. I mean, it was it's given and reconciled, well then it's out of sight, out of mind. Now, 3 months later, I'm trying to chase a credit down
Yeah.
because we didn't receive the payment.
Because we didn't receive the
Or,
product.
the product, I'm sorry, not the payment, the product.
Okay,
Yeah.
so again, make note. We'll revisit,
Credit card policy.
because we don't want to adopt new policies where you say, well, I'm not gonna follow the policy. We need to tweak it so it's applicable and,
You're right.
yeah, okay, good. New business.
I have to
We have to-
vote on it. I would move to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve the consent calendar with the 31st budget meeting that was called.
I said as presented.
Roll call?
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Zeitz,
Yeah.
Campbell,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes,
Kuchar,
Yes,
Fleischman.
Yes. Matt,
Yes.
are we on for drug take back day on the 24th?
Yes.
Yes.
of this month.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. I count on you for things like this.
And it's from noon to 2? Is that what you do?
10.
10 to 2? Oh, perfect time, Brad. You're up.
Quick down there and quick here tonight, so that's awesome. Good evening, everyone. Brad Jewett, Grand Traverse County Board of Commissioners. Hope everyone's doing well. Just a little bit on my report tonight. First of all, the Board of Commissioners currently are meeting in person, and we all know that could change at any given date with what's going on and everything, so. Last week we discussed the animal control millage, even though that don't come up until November, but Bonnie's gonna be reaching out to you guys to see what it probably cost your township and everything to see to actually put this on, but preliminary, we're looking at probably $100,000 to get it cumulatively in the county to get it on the ballot in November. So that's a significant cost and everything, so we wanna analyze that before we make any decisions on, to put it on this year, or maybe skip a year and get it on the 22 ballot. Everything, so. Yes.
I'm wondering if they will think ahead and maybe go with the 4 years so that,
You know, I don't wanna put too much other, but it is something we're discussing to try and get it where it's on election years,
right,
instead of these oddball years where it's a special election.
right,
You know, because those special elections do nothing but cost the
Cost
taxpayers money. You know, and it's unfortunate, and like I said, we're looking at it, and we don't have any hard numbers yet, but we're thinking probably approximately $100,000 cumulatively between the townships and the county to put that on, you know, and the animal control mill generates around $180,000, maybe $200,000 a year, so, you know.
I know I estimated to Bonnie, because if that's the only thing that's gonna be on the ballot, we have 4 precincts, I would combine precincts and only have 2, but still probably close to $8,000.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, Garfield much bigger, and East Bay and stuff, I mean,
Right,
I think Garfield, they didn't say a number tonight, but I think I'm hearing about 40,000 for them, you know, and the county's about 30, if I remember correctly. So once we add all these townships up, it's a significant cost, and, you know, we just wanna, our discussion was not about for or against the animal control millage, it was about, is this the right time to put it on now, or do we skip a year
right,
and get it on an actual election cycle?
right.
Because it is a 4-year millage, if I remember correctly. Because last time was a special millage too, wasn't it?
It was 3 years, I believe, because we looked it up.
Okay.
We looked at the ballot from, well, it must have been 2018. No,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
2018.
yeah,
You're right, so it's 3 years, so that,
Yeah.
but that was on an election year
Right.
and stuff, so. So, I mean, we do have some time to decide, August 10th or 12th or something like that's the deadline, I don't remember the exact hard date, but, so we have a little bit of time to discuss this and everything, but, you know, what we're kind of seeking is input from our townships and taxpayers on the right thing to do, because we don't want to just throw, and I'm just using this number loosely, $100,000 out there to put on a special election. If we can, as a county, look at it and fund it for another year without the millage to get it back on cycle and stuff, so. But we would like input from our townships and villages and the different people involved with the election, so we know.
that's what I would recommend.
So would I, if the county commissioners committed to funding it for that year.
Right.
And
Right.
not at the last minute, as you take our input and I say, as a constituent or yeah, you guys fund it for a year and then the commission says, oh, well, we don't have the money, so animal control gets shut down for a year.
And if we decided, I mean, we've not had a vote on it, I wanna be clear on that, but if we decided to put it off for a year, it would be just that we would also decide to make sure we're funding it for the next year to just kind of Band-Aid us over to get us into the election cycle.
Yeah.
Because long-term, it's gonna save all those taxpayers money on it. I mean, it's a, I'm not gonna debate animal control whether we need it or not, but it's a shame that we may possibly throw $100,000 out there to put on a special election for one item. So that's where I think a lot of people are standing with it right now. But that's why we're discussing it now instead of waiting until July to figure this out, so. But again, we want your guys' input, we want the taxpayers' input, but we wanna be wise about how we do it and smart about how we do it too, so. In the last millage, I think it had a 70 or 72% support in it, so obviously people want, and everything, so. But yeah, we just wanna do the right thing and stuff, so. Last week, we had an update on Cass Road from the Drain Commissioner, and there is currently work going on down there right now. They're starting on what I call the outlet end of things, which that, from what we've seen, has been the problems in the past with the culverts underneath the railroad tracks not discharging because one's collapsed and the other one had time to be plugged. So that's where they're starting, and that is a 7x12 culvert that is going in there, box culvert, that will be fish friendly, so to say, environmental friendly for the wildlife and everything. That's going there, but I mean, a culvert that size, obviously, we shouldn't be plugging it up or crushing it, So it's nice to see that. We have not had any flooding since last summer, and the problem was those culverts being compromised or plugged and everything. And granted, we've had a pretty dry spring and a pretty dry winter, really, with not much melt and everything. But thankfully, businesses aren't being flooded, and that's part of the reason why too, because we've not had the moisture that we normally get precipitation. So, but that's moving along now and everything. Things are started. The Drain Commissioner laid the timeline out, and I don't recall all of it, but most of the work's gonna be done by August or November or October or November of this year. So, on that first phase and everything. Currently, vaccination clinics, as we've all seen, all around the state, even right now, are open to all ages. And our health department and administration are setting up satellite locations. I know Green Lake's gonna have one, Pipe Lake's gonna have one coming up here, and probably some other ones in the works and everything. So we are trying to reach out to the farther outlying areas of the county to make it a little bit easier for the people that want it to get to the clinic instead of driving into town.
And on that, just so the board knows, Nate Algers had contacted me and asked about Blair being a satellite site, but the date that they're doing it is Tuesday, the 20th. And there's no way we can do a vaccination clinic here in the hall on a township workday. We don't have the space to do it, we've got staff, we're busy. So I threw out a Monday, possibly doing it on a Monday. He was gonna connect with the health department, talk with them, and I have not heard back from him.
Yeah, I've not heard anything on that either. I know that's kind of behind the scenes, their cup of tea to do, and honestly, we don't get involved with scheduling that and stuff, so. But, again, I don't care where people stand on whether they want it, don't want it, or anything like that. I'm not here to that. I'm just thankful that the vaccine is available for the ones that want it and everything. So, I think we, especially as public servants, need to communicate that it is available, and the people that want it can make the appointment and get it taken care of, so. And then probably the biggest news, I guess, well, it's not the biggest news, but one of the biggest things that came up last week there, the board of commissioners did approve a 5-year contract and equipment for body cameras for our law enforcement. That includes the purchase of 70 cameras. We have 52 that we need to be in the works and everything at all times and stuff like that. First year agreement's $85,000. Years 2 through 5 is $50,000 a year. At 2.5 years into it, all the equipment gets replaced. That's figured in that cost. And at 5 years, even if we did not renew with Axon beyond 5 years, but at 5 years, we get all that equipment replaced again and everything. So last week we approved it, and the sheriff said that they needed 6 to 8 weeks to get the cameras here by the time you go through the purchase orders and getting everything here. And then there will be a learning training period with it and everything. So I would say total rollout in my estimation would probably be 3 to 4 months still from now. But there again, you know, the prices were good. They're about half of what we expected them to be. And I think it'll be a good tool for both keeping the public with a peace of mind and for protecting our officers. So that being said, that's what I have on my report for tonight. Questions, comments, thoughts, anybody?
I just wanna thank you for a good job, okay?
I got one question for you.
Sure.
Across the road from the old Pepsi down there on Cass.
Yep.
Are they rerouting part of that creek? I mean, you used to be able to drive in there,
No, well, they
and
did.
now I see a kind of
Yeah,
a
they
ditch,
eliminated
but I
that.
haven't pulled in there to look.
They did, part of the plan was eliminating that culvert that crossed that road. I forget the name of the road, I'm sorry, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay,
They did eliminate that culvert, because the problem is people going back in there dumping garbage and doing all that stuff
okay,
and everything. So that was part of the Cass Road Drain Plan to eliminate that. So that will,
okay, yeah, that's right.
yeah, so that won't be there anymore. Well, it's gone already.
Years ago, there wasn't a culvert there, 'cause
Right,
I used to live just north of there.
Yeah, and the water just flowed
whatever.
road. or whatever, but that's why
Yeah,
that's not
okay,
there.
okay.
And everything, so. And since, you guys are second tonight, I'll stick around, so if there's any questions or comments afterwards. And again, like I tell everybody, at any point in time, feel free to reach out to me. My email and phone number is on the county website, and I think most of you probably have it already. But, feel free to reach out if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or anything, and we'll go from there.
Thank you.
Good seeing everyone.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Fred.
Okay, new business, public hearing. This is item A. I'm going to close the regular meeting, open up the public hearing for special use case SU SPR 21-03-01.
Fuck all the niggers. Fuck niggers. Fuck all the niggers. Fuck all the niggers. Fuck all the niggers.
We're in our legal right to just close it now.
The whole meeting?
Yep.
Well, what you can't say is.
Yeah, I can't do it on my phone.
Sorry.
Huh?
Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard that in the back, but we were just Zoom bombed with inappropriate language, and I don't know what the video was, so we closed that off. It's too bad because we did have one person on there.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we can do this now, actually.
No,
I don't think we
I
can.
don't think, yeah, you have to either bring that back up.
Were you able to see who was on as a participant?
Well, I recorded it, yeah, but some of them didn't have real names.
Well, I don't mean
You
the
can-
Zoom bomber, but the original participant.
Oh,
Jack,
yeah.
Speak up.
Derek
Yeah,
Derek
Watson.
Watson.
You can reopen that meeting though, because once you close it, that should have kicked everybody off.
Okay, and now
What?
just reopen it?
Yeah.
And then wait a minute for anyone to try to reconnect, as if there is a technical issue then.
Okay. And is Derek Watson, he's,
I just would kick them off when they were doing it for the planning commission.
But she was trying,
does that name ring a bell to you?
What?
Derek Watson?
I
Is
can
he
help
part
you
of-
out with that. He's with Nature and Me Are Legal.
Okay, that's what I
That's what I
figured, he was probably part of.
Hmm.
Is that who you're with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, tell him I'm sorry, I got rid of All right, so
Never knew it was that easy.
You're like, where's that?
How many
I want
years?
that.
Is there down there?
No, but maybe he'll come back, because he did leave and come back once already.
Okay. And Derek is with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who signed this thing.
We just won't tell him that you guys shut off, he'll think it's him.
Yeah, we'll just give him a few minutes and see if he logs back on.
Yeah, it was about 5 or 6 unknowns that just popped up all at once.
So Brad, what was the vote on the cam? Unanimous?
Well, it's either that or
Alright.
maybe
So
breaking it.
you guys get together on the important stuff.
We'll give him a few more minutes, but I am gonna open up the public hearing for special use case SUSPR 210301. The applicant is Nature in the RV. They are requesting a special use site plan review to establish a showroom and sales lot for Airstream campers in their existing building property located at 3943 Rennie School Road, Traverse City, Michigan, 49685, parcel number 2802-630-002-00, and it is 636. Is there anybody here that would like to discuss this special use case? Is Derek back on?
He's not, there's nobody else on.
We're just gonna keep it open for a few minutes, to make sure nobody pops up on there when they're ready to say. That's all right. I'm gonna go ahead and close this, in the event that Derek pops back up and has anything to say. I'll absolutely entertain him at any point in time. It's fine with me.
Okay.
6:38.
I would move to approve special use case SU/SPR 210301 as it meets the standards for approval in the Blair Township zoning ordinance, section 2204, and approval was recommended by the Blair Township Planning Commission.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion?
I got a question.
Go.
Of course, Nature Me is up there at 31. Is this just gonna be for Airstream campers? They're gonna have a different division for Airstream?
Ralph, that's you.
Yes,
I mean, you are gonna have the other campers there, and they just Airstreams over
so
there?
the current inventory we have will remain across the street at the Nature and Me building, and this will be exclusively for Airstream travel trailers.
I've been to your place before. I like it. Nice and neat. Friendly people too, okay?
Good to hear.
I have a season at Turtle Lake, okay?
Okay.
So every 2 years, we look at different campers. So maybe another year and a half, I'll be talking to you guys, you know.
We can wrap that up tonight if you want.
Actually, I don't buy it. I'm a Holiday Inn camper, but my wife's the camper. She's the one that funds it, okay?
Well, I was over there Monday and that's what I was told, that was gonna be for Airstreams, and I was inside the building and looks like they're gonna have a nice setup.
It's gonna turn out well.
Yeah. And maybe I can get a new Dodge from him.
Well, you're selling all kinds of stuff tonight.
Yeah.
And I agree with Carl that lot, the current lot is always so well kept,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
clean, the sign is so sweet. It's a nice,
I'm a little
It's
sad they're
nice.
running out of inventory though. Looks like they've been really busy.
We have been more on the way.
I will say, when I first read this, and I says, nature, me, that's Garfield Township, what's that to do with us? I hadn't gone far enough.
roll call.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Kuchera,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Lunstein,
Yes.
Zeit.
Yes,
Anybody on Zoom? Oh, no, dear, okay. Okay, we're gonna move on to item B. Open up the public hearing for special use case SUSPR 21-03-02. The applicant Boatcraft is requesting a special use site plan review to establish a showroom and sales lot for boats and docks in existing building on property located at 2816 M37 South, Traverse City, Michigan 49685, parcel number 2802017-023-30. And it is 642. And Bill Crane let Lisa know that he wasn't able to attend tonight's meeting. Generally, he's at all these meetings in
Yeah.
case any of us have any questions. Lisa, are they gonna use the building in the back?
Yep, the one that used to
That-
be
yeah,
by
yeah.
the whole barn.
Yep.
The one up front is theirs, or it's being leased out. There's
Yep, I think
lease
that's Cherry Canyon Woodworkers. They've been there for a little while. But the pole barn in the back, Jerome had gone by and taken pictures, and they've done the whole outside of it. It matches the duplex in the front now, so it looks much better,
yes, it looks pretty
Mhm.
decent.
Coming along.
much better.
Smells better too.
Now, matter of opinion, mister.
Anybody on Zoom? Oh, okay, let's close the public hearing. 6:43.
I would move to approve SU/SPR 210302 Boatcraft as it meets the standards for approval in section 2204 of Blair Township zoning ordinance and approval was recommended by the Blair Township Planning Commission.
Support.
Didn't this one have conditions on it though?
No.
I
I
thought,
just read through the note.
that's what I was reading through.
Yeah,
I thought the
There was-
pavement or something,
That was on the site plan, wasn't it?
Yeah, to be
There was-
established.
And we don't have
Dust
anything to
free.
say
But
about
nothing
the
on
site
the
plan.
special use, but just the
Okay.
site plan.
okay.
And that'll be written into the permit, any special
Okay.
conditions applied by the planning commission, I
Yeah,
put
that's
that
what
right
I
in the
was-
special use.
And something with the border in the back or something.
Yeah, they got a little carried away with their outdoor storage.
Yeah,
That'll also be clarified on the permit, trust me.
and they said they wouldn't be having docks, but who knows what the future brings.
Mhm.
Any further discussion?
Dennis? You need to abstain on this one and you should have on the last one.
Oh, yeah, right after that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ready? Lunstein,
Yes.
Zeit,
Yes,
Kuchera,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes,
Put some just document on there that Fitzpatrick abstains due to the planning commission. Item 2, EMS and fire budget amendments.
So, as this memo says, this was CARES Act money that was applied for part of Karczewski's wages, part of operation services, part of Lisa's wages, and part of Pete's, our guy, part of his wages. And then we found out we could not use it for that. But Tracy found that we could use it for EMS and fire wages. So we just need to increase the revenues for other federal grants for both the EMS and the fire fund.
With separate motions.
Actually, it could be in the same motion,
With separate motions,
okay?
just because it's dollar amounts in a different budget.
Okay. I would move to approve increasing the fire revenues, other federal grants by $13,765.08.
Support. It's been moved and supported to increase fire revenues, other federal grants by $13,765.08. Any discussion? Roll call?
Lunshine,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Kuchera,
Yes,
Campbell,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
And I would move to increase EMS revenues, other federal grants by $13,765.08.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to increase EMS revenues, other federal grants by $13,765.08.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Kuchera,
yes,
Sykes,
Yes.
Lunshine,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Wolfgang.
Yes.
Item 3, quotes for cleaning.
We have another budget amendment.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
there it is.
I didn't notice either.
Yeah.
So this was for a grant that was received from the Grand Terrace Band and used to purchase a thermal imaging camera. So we just need to increase the revenues in the fire budget, their state grants, by the amount of the grant, and then increase the equipment expenditure in the fire fund by that same amount. So I would move to approve amending the fire budget by increasing state grant revenues by $5,995 and increasing the equipment expenditures by $5,995.
It's been moved and supported to increase the fire budget state grant revenue by $5,995, as well as the equipment expenditure in the fire budget by $5,995. Any discussion? Roll call?
Campbell,
Yes.
Lunshine,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Kuchera,
Yes,
Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Item 3, quotes for cleaning and inspection of both the water tanks. First, I just want to thank Lynette.
Me too.
And yes, you're in, you know, Patrick as well, for running with this and getting these quotes. I mean, Patrick had submitted the Seven Brothers painting, and it was when I was quarantined, and I'd asked Linetti if she could contact some other companies, get with Patrick and get some names to get these quotes and have this prepared for this meeting. Because we're hoping to be able to use some of the leftover bond money. 'Cause this, as you can see, is very expensive, so Lynette did a lot of research, and she learned a lot about, it's not only cleaning and disinfecting, but then you have to have an engineer inspecting, which is different, and
Yeah, and if the engineers can clean the inside of the tank, but they don't mess around and clean the outside of the tank.
and it's not something our engineer does, I mean, it's very specific. So, we've met with Patrick several times and gotten his opinion. Go for it.
So, I think Patrick should kind of explain what, because these quotes are hard to, I mean, the ones from Dixon, or was it from Dixon?
Yeah.
That were 10 pages long?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, I could have read through the whole thing and I wouldn't have known what it meant. So can you please share with
Sure,
everybody what you talked to us about today?
sure. Well, we got a total of 4 quotes. One of them was just for inspections, so we kind of just threw that one aside from Nelson. But Dixon can come in and do the interior of both tanks for $8,500, including the inspections. The elevated tank is $4,100. The underground tank is $4,400. They do not do exterior cleaning. That entails you got special rigging to do the exterior. And Seven Brothers can do that for, I think it was $6,500 or $6,375 for the exterior of the elevated tank. The underground tank obviously does not need the exterior cleaning. So, and part of the reason I'd like to see Dixon is because I know they're familiar with our tank. Nelson was here doing the inspections when it was painted in 2012. But Dixon actually had pictures of our tanks from back in the day. They're very organized. And they also made recommendations. Eagle is requiring that the rooftop vent, this is a vacuum breaker vent on the top of the tank. They're requiring a skirt to go down over this screen. Okay, on the new tanks, it's a totally different vent system. But Dixon is working on a system where they could weld a skirt on here. See, because if it rains and the wind is blowing, right, they can blow into the side of these, and it's required to have a 24 mesh screen, which I don't believe ours has the 24 mesh on it. And that's something that they could do when they're in there for the cleaning, and Eagle is gonna require this. And a gasket on the main hatch for the tank. And that would be like a $200 add-on. But that, there would just be some possible add-ons when they would come and do that. And Dixon wouldn't be able to do anything probably till the fall on the interior, which I'm fine with because, you know, we're getting to the point now where we're starting to pump a little more water. And plus we're gonna have the tank down in probably 2 or 3 weeks for an inspection. They're doing cell antenna work on there, they did some welding, and they have to come in and do some, repair the paint. Okay, so which means we have to drain the tank and go through the disinfection process. And actually Dixon is doing the inspection for that. So they're gonna kind of be in that tank, you know, and know a little bit about it before we even, you know, have it cleaned.
Yeah.
And that's about all I have. I mean, you know, for the quote, Seven Brothers to do the interior of both tanks would be $11,700. Fedua was $18,900 for interior, exterior of the elevated tank, and interior of the underground tank, which was 11 grand, which I thought was crazy.
And just to point out, Seven Brothers in Fedowa, they say on here visual inspection, but they don't have engineers on staff that actually inspect it and sign off on it.
Okay.
Whereas Dixon does.
So we're thinking Dixon for interior inspections, and then Seven Brothers for the exterior. And we could have the exterior done, you know, we can have that done anytime. We don't have to shut the tank down for that. So Seven Brothers, we could schedule that, and then come in and do the exterior if you like.
So
During the summer.
Whoops.
What?
Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, thank you.
I would move to approve the agreement with Dixon Engineering for interior cleaning and inspection of the elevated tank and the underground tank. And Seven Brothers for the exterior
Of elevated.
of the
tank.
elevated tank for
$14,875.
for a total of $14,875.
Support.
With potential add-ons with the skirt and the gasket.
But that can,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because those are
Yeah.
gonna be under the. It's been moved and supported to approve Dixon Engineering and Inspection Services for the interior cleaning and inspections of the elevated and underground tank, and Seven Brothers for the exterior washing of the elevated tank in the total amount of $14,875.
I really like the name Seven Brothers too.
And Elvis won't be here this time.
Any further discussion?
Very good. Nice job.
Thank you.
Roll call?
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Zeitz,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Kuchera,
Yes.
Landschein.
Yes. And then, I think probably the easiest thing and the least confusing thing will be for you to coordinate date and time, and then with your excellent communication skills, relay that to us.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thanks, Patrick.
Anytime.
Number 4, request for reimbursement from resident at 4282 Vance Road. You guys all remember the
Yes.
the water main break of the old water main that should have been not there, abandoned, disconnected, and therefore, the misdig wasn't done. You know, the main years ago had been moved out in front down Vance Road. This was part of the system that feeds Ramblewood subdivision. So there was, quite a bit of backyard damage due to that main being struck. We don't have, I called these people and left them a voicemail because I don't think it's possible for us to make a decision tonight for any type of monetary compensation to them when we don't know how much it costs them to, you know, have their basement dewatered and have their yard. I know Alpers went back in there this spring, and I know Alpers was gonna cut them a special deal. I don't know what that costs, and they didn't give us any of that information, so personally, I'm not opposed to engaging in conversation with these residents. I feel like we do have a sense of responsibility to take care of this for them. They did everything they were supposed to do. It wasn't even the water operator's fault because that water main was documented as abandoned years ago. And there wasn't even if they had done a mistake, there wasn't a tracer wire on any of,
It was under drain fields,
It
like
was- yeah.
people's backyards.
yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So when it blew, their drain field was, it was a mess.
One of my best days ever.
Lucky they didn't have it when they put the drain field in.
Yeah, so, like I said, I have called them and left them a voicemail. I'm sure they'll get in touch with me this week. And then I'll just make the recommendation that I bring it back next month with some documentation. She stated in her email that she didn't want to, do a homeowner's insurance claim because it was too much hassle. My guess is because the monetary amount was probably less than what perhaps their deductible was, but I don't know, so. I'll get in touch with them. I'll also talk to Alpers, and I would like to go down there and actually see their yard this spring. I was down there when the main blew and the yard was flooded, so I watched that whole process. So I'll just bring it back. And I'll let her know that we're discussing it, and if she has any more input for us.
We abandoned that water main yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
We dug it up and it was not like it showed on any prints, both ways, whatever. We got her done. So it'll never, that water has no chance now of going down behind those houses if a valve were to break free or anything. So we're good.
Yeah, thanks for the pictures you sent yesterday.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I moved to item 5. Cemetery mapping.
So like the memo says, Cindy has been working very diligently on making the whole process of selling cemetery lots, record keeping of who owns what and who's buried where, a more streamlined process. Part of it was she also sent maps of our cemeteries to our software company, and for what we wanted, those didn't work. So Potham can re-illustrate our maps in their software, so we could eventually put this on our website, and people who are looking at lots could go on there and see what lots are available. Right now, they have to come in, we give them a map, we have highlighted which ones are sold and occupied, but that changes, you know. So then they go out and look and then come back and I make sure that whatever one they want isn't sold. This would just make it more streamlined. But we are over budget. Well, I don't know that we're over budget, but we're pretty close to being over budget in the cemeteries. So, it's gonna cost $2,400 for them to re-illustrate our maps. So I'm asking to move $2,400 from contingency to the contracted services line item in the cemetery budget.
Support.
Okay? I guess I'm moving
Is that your
to,
motion?
yes.
It's been moved and supported to move $2,400 from contingency to the contracted service line item in the cemetery budget. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Glenchen,
Yes.
Kuchar,
Yes,
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Zeitz,
Yes,
Campbell.
Yes.
Number 7, possible amendment to section 218 agreement.
So I became aware of this 218 agreement in the last couple of months, and it was discovered that the trustees were exempt from the 218 agreement. which means they should not be having Social Security and Medicare taken out of their check. So the more I looked at this, I was like, well, I don't know. The election workers are fine because actually the state of Michigan now has their own 218 agreement for election workers. So I'm not worried about the election workers. I want to clarify the fee basis positions. I'm assuming when this was originally done back in 1988 or whatever, that they were considering fee basis positions as the Planning Commission, ZBA, and Board of Review. So those also should not be having Social Security and Medicare taken out. I don't like the part-time positions normally requiring less than, well, the amendment says 24 hours per week.
34, right?
It's, I don't know. I feel that would be part-time EMS and fire and Kim, the EMS biller. For one thing, with part-time EMS and fire, some weeks they aren't gonna work any hours. Some months they don't work any hours. And then some months they could, and just because it's part-time, I guess I don't feel like we shouldn't take Social Security and Medicare out for now. The other board positions are, most of the people are either retired and already on Social Security and Medicare,
You're right.
or it's not their main.
No, when I was on board review, right, I was working full time, but it was just
Yeah,
okay, cool, I get $30.
right.
This 6 months, okay, you're right,
Right. So I guess my feeling is I would like to not exclude part-time positions normally requiring less than 24 hours per week.
You said you would like to not include,
Not exclude.
not
They're
exclude.
currently excluded, even though that hasn't been followed.
Yeah.
But I would like to amend the 218 agreement to not exclude part-timers.
Yeah, I agree. Because it is going towards their retirement.
Yeah, this cracks me up how.
Yeah, how it was amended, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the line through it and somebody hand wrote 24.
Yeah, I know.
And every other document,
That
dating
was
back to like
Virginia.
1976, it was 30 hours.
That was Virginia DeRocher. So I guess I'll make a motion to amend the section 218 agreement to not exclude part-time positions normally requiring less than 24 hours per week. To not exclude any part-time position.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to amend the 218 agreement to not exclude part-time positions. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Campbell,
Yes.
Zeiss,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Kuchera,
Yes.
Flanschein.
Yes. Item 8, West Shore Fire Agreement for Scot Air Pack Maintenance.
This is a new abatement on our new air pack for the grant of $50 per
air pack for them to do. They've been doing that for the last couple of years. West Shore is a company we commonly work with. Chief Parker recommended we go with a 3-year agreement to lock in the fees.
How many air packs are?
18.
18.
So it'd just be under $1,000 a year if we don't get any work ruined or anything.
I make the motion to approve the agreement with West Shore Fire for Scot 3M safety air pack maintenance of $55 per year per pack for a term of 3 years.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve the agreement of West Shore Fire for Scot 3M safety air pack maintenance of $55 per year per pack for a term of 3 years. Discussion. I'm just curious, and I should remember this, but I don't. How long does it take them when the tech comes in and does his maintenance on a air pack and one air pack?
You know, I wish I could answer that. I think they're here for all day.
I mean, I know, yeah, and I'm sure they put it on the machine and do the pressure testing, and I was just curious
And they
because I wasn't like that, wanted to break it down to, you know, if it takes him 20 minutes per pack and he's making $55 per pack. A career change perhaps, I don't know. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Flanschein,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Zeitz,
Yes.
Kutra.
Yeah.
2021 Traverse City Pit Spitter Fireworks. Submitted for 12 days. We do this every year because part of our township ordinances for approval.
Have they paid
Yes.
for a permit? This time? Okay. I would move to approve the Traverse City Pit Spitters schedule for fireworks displays for the 2021 season.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve the Traverse City Pit Spitters firework display for the 2021 season. Discussion? Roll call.
Zeitz,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Kutra,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Flanschein,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Number 10, EMT school for Tyler Francisco.
We hired Tyler in 2018. He's been through fire school, first responder school. He remained active with the department. He helped us quite a bit last year when we had a crazy standby schedule. So, like to send him through the EMT school where he'd be more valuable to us. Our EMS education budget is a little bit over right now, so the RTC will defer payment until after the new budget year.
I would move to approve paying for Tyler Francisco's EMT class in the amount of $1,500 to be paid out of the 2021/2022 EMS budget.
Very good.
Is that right?
It's a no-go.
Sounds good.
Yeah, put in there with the agreement, that there is an agreement that he has to maintain with the department for 18 months after his certification.
With the conditions as spelled out in
Education agreement?
the educational policy in the employee handbook.
Cool. You want me to
Do you want me to add some more?
Yeah, no, I want you to stop. It's moved and supported to approve.
Who supported
Do
it?
you want me?
Nobody.
Nobody supported it.
I will.
Ask for it.
Everybody did.
You got it. You supported, Dennis?
We got it.
Okay. It's been moved and supported to approve sending Tyler Francisco through the EMT program in the amount of $1,500.
To be paid.
To be paid out of the
21,
21-22 EMS education budget
per the conditions of.
per the conditions of the EMS educational policy. Discussion?
Sights,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Blindshine,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Kuchar.
Yes,
Is he gonna be going to school with you?
I don't know, when's he going? Maybe
He's starting in
something or
May.
other? Yeah, then yes. Me and Alex from Green Lake will be there.
Nice.
That would be an education.
The spring
I'm the old dude.
2021 newsletter.
All right. Well, before I got started on this, I thought I should bring it to the board to see if we want a newsletter. And that, you know, every time I start the newsletter, I chase people to try to get something for the newsletter, unless I get Nicole at my desk and then she sits and writes the entire thing. But like the last year, the last two newsletters, I got nothing from the clerk's office. The assessing office and zoning and water give me the same one for spring and winter every year. So to me, to spend between $3,000 and $5,000 when we're COVID conscious anyways is a lot of money. I don't feel the newsletter is up to super duper.
I agree, it's frustrating. The departments have submitted the exact same thing. If you go back in newsletters for years, until this last one, maybe the one before, where I literally sit at Tracy's side and rewrite the water and sewer and zoning, the ordinance enforcer, rewrite what they have submitted, so and I think the newsletters are a good form of communication if we use them as that.
I agree, it's a lot of work if it's.
And it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And maybe instead of doing two, we just do one.
Right. And I think now that we have a Facebook page, we are able to put, I mean, I know not everybody is on Facebook.
Yeah, or the website.
Right.
not
I
everybody reads the newsletter either.
Well, yeah, I know that.
I know I find that out myself.
Why don't we not do a spring one and see what kind of input we get
Yeah.
from the community?
Mm-hmm.
And if nobody says anything, well then clearly they don't miss it. If
Yeah.
we get, you know,
Some feedback.
10, 20, 30
Yeah.
people who call and say, hey, you know, I really look forward to getting that newsletter.
Then we revisit it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. That's my biggest thing. It's a lot of money. I don't mind doing it. It's just a lot of money and for the same words. I just don't think it's up to par to what we pay.
How much is it again, Tracy?
We pay between $3,000 and $5,000. I mean, because we get it in color. So by the time we print 4,500 out, mail 4,500 out, it's a lot of money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Do you want a motion?
Sure.
I move to approve not sending out a spring 2021 township newsletter.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to not send out a spring 2021 newsletter.
So if you get people calling and complaining, blame it on me. I made the motion.
Well, we can write it down. We need to log
We
it.
won't, but we need
Yes.
we need to keep track of that.
Right.
Right.
Right, if it is a big deal, I mean, I know the most people look at it, or at least say I didn't see this on there, is the dates for spring cleanup.
Yeah.
And,
And with the amount of calls we get
yeah,
about that,
They
they
can
don't
just-
look at it.
right, right,
Or they look at it, throw it away, forget.
yeah.
Yeah, so let's just keep track to see if we
Yeah.
get any complaints or if somebody's so sad and they miss it and, you know.
I'm gonna miss it.
We'll reevaluate it.
I look forward to reading it twice a year.
Yeah.
Where's your
I'll make a
next-
special one just for you. Okay? Using my
Carl.
little $50
It was
printer,
just, that
okay?
last one was very frustrating,
where's your
very
next
frustrating. And then when we
Huh?
rewrote it,
Where's your
we did
next
put in some good information. I
where's
mean,
my-
there's lots of information we could put in them.
That's, that's what I say is, I mean, there's so much happening.
Wow.
Sometimes it doesn't fall at the right,
Yeah.
when we
Right.
send them, it doesn't fall at the right time either. It's either way gonna be over by the time they go out, or,
Well, let's look and see
Yeah.
if
Well,
people notice, then,
I know there's parts of it too, without, basically, we're putting the same thing in,
you know,
because this is what we did, and
Mm-hmm.
Carl did, you know.
roll call.
Kuchar,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Lunshine,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Wolfgang.
yes.
The only thing I can say about it, someone liking the cookie recipe.
Is it actually your recipe, Sally's?
It's Tim's.
Item 12, approval to post maintenance position. I stuck this on here, I wanted to discuss with the board, you know, we've not replaced Dylan. And we are in desperate need of a maintenance
Oh,
person.
definitely.
Yeah.
For so many multiple reasons, we're too busy on the inside to keep up with the outside, and, you know, I'm not opposed to going out into the park, the guys aren't opposed to going out in the park to get garbage, but that's not what they're here for, and it takes them out of the building, it takes me out of the building. You know, we've got that new pavilion that's never been stained and sealed, we got park benches falling apart, we've got a pavilion that needs to be painted, I mean, I could just go on and on and on and on and on.
There's lots of.
We need to relook at our budget, and I think Lynette and Tracy and I can do this during the week, but the time has come, we need, and we did run an ad, Pete, who used to clean the bathrooms in the park and dump the garbage, he's retired. So we ran an ad in the newspaper, nobody applied. So I told,
That maintenance person wouldn't be doing that part, would they?
they wouldn't. So I don't even know if we're gonna get applicants, but I think we need to get it posted and put our feelers out and see, because we need somebody, and a maintenance person for what Pete did. You know, we've talked about this, like, why do we lock those bathrooms at 9 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Why, you ask? Well, this is the only thing I could think of, because we always have.
Yeah,
We used to always say that the park closes at 10 o'clock at night, but there's no padlocks, there's no locks, it's a public, so do the bathrooms need to be locked at night? We have a security system out there. When the bathrooms get vandalized right now, they get vandalized during the day. And so we really don't need somebody to come in and lock the bathrooms at night. And if we had a maintenance person, they could do a power wash in the morning of the bathrooms, if and when we're ever able to open those bathrooms again. Just
Yeah.
stuff like that, but I really feel like we need to look at our budget, and the time has come.
Would the maintenance person take over, like, grass and everything?
I say no, because
Okay.
when we had a full-time maintenance person, they still couldn't maintain the grass. My first 2 years in office, the biggest complaints I got in the spring and summer were the conditions of the cemetery. Since we have a contracted service that is very affordable, those cemeteries
Yeah.
in my entire time in Blair Township have never looked so good.
Yeah.
And I
You
have
don't get any
not gotten a
complaints.
complaint. The only time I get a complaint is if an outhouse tips over or garbage is full. But as far as the grass cutting, the mowing, not only, when they go in there with their weed whippers around the gravestones, they take their leaf blower. So I say no.
Oh, great.
It doesn't cost that much money.
Mhm.
And it's the same with the snow plowing. We're not, there's no wear and tear on our truck, there's not gas, it's a contracted service, they're in and out, and it's cheaper than what if we were paying.
Right. So would this,
There's so much other stuff a maintenance person could do.
is this a full-time position or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I, think though, if we're gonna post it, I think we need to put in the ad some type of wage. So I think we should probably talk about that.
Well, that's what I said. Tonight, I'm just wanting to bring the board up to my thought and the need for this position. I think tomorrow we can look at the budget, look at our budget, do some talking. If we can just get a,
Yeah, and a job description of some sort.
we have a job description that we wrote when the last maintenance guy was here. I mean, if we wanted to throw out a ballpark number
I
tonight,
think we budgeted a certain amount for wages.
yeah, I don't remember.
I think it was 33, something. What would that?
33,000?
Yeah,
Like
do you have your
$15.
phone?
It's like
Yeah, only like
33
$15.
or $15 an hour or something.
We're not gonna get anybody for that.
No.
No, I think
So when you
Nah,
look at the budget
right.
What am I
tomorrow-
doing?
Not quality.
I mean, we need a good maintenance to keep that park, because whenever I meet somebody new, and say, I said, yeah, I'm kind of retired, but I'm a trustee of Blair Township. First thing that comes to their mind, they've got a fantastic, you guys got a fantastic park there, water park. But the bathrooms are always dirty. Yeah, I mean, but they love the park. And, right, they have the right maintenance to keep that park going. You know, like you said, paint it, make it look good. You know, keep it up to par. You can't, I mean, Nicole, right. Your job is so important, you really can't be out there. I mean, and neither can they, it's very hard. But you're right. we
And the
need-
biggest complaint when the bathrooms were open last year, they weren't open because of color, was the toilets would always overflow. Well, they were the original toilets that were put in when the pavilion was built. So they would overflow and the little kids go in there and they keep flushing. Well, we have replaced all the toilets, we did have that done. So it,
Okay, so, I mean, it doesn't really matter what we budgeted, because we're only 3 months away from the end of the
right.
fiscal year. So what do you think? I think we should put like
Even if we had
a yearly, a range
right.
between this much and this much
Depending
Up
on
to,
experience.
or up to,
Yeah,
yeah.
Were you tossing around 33,000?
That's only $15 an
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah,
That's,
$15 an hour.
if
That's
we want
about
somebody.
$15.86 an hour.
Yeah, no.
That's $15.86, 33
At
grand.
least 20,
19 to 21 an hour.
yeah, right.
Let's throw $40 an hour on it, I'll take an application.
I'll fill it out.
Eric said 45, he's in.
What water tower cleaning? I got bathrooms to clean.
With a smile on my face.
I'm glad I gotta drain the tank.
$20 an hour is 41.6.
41.6.
Okay.
So
That-
do
the 20?
40 to 42 or,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I move
Fair
to
change.
approve posting the maintenance position with a wage of, with a wage between $40,000 and $42,000 per year.
Wage scale. That's the
Wage
word we
scale.
were looking
There
for.
we
That
go,
was
yeah.
tough.
Yeah, Connor can see you.
With benefits.
Benefits.
Yeah.
With benefits.
With,
Then
with
Did you
full
support
time
that?
with benefits.
Was that so?
With benefits, which,
I
if you
support.
break all that down,
I know.
put a total on it, it's substantial.
It's been moved and supported to approve posting a maintenance position, full-time position with a wage scale between $40,000 to $42,000 a year.
With benefits.
Hey,
That's which,
That'd
that
be no snow
spelled out in the
plowing,
policy book.
no mowing, right?
Yes.
Right, that is like a pretty.
Yes,
Try and make-
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Campbell,
yes.
Sunshine,
Yes.
Zeit.
Yes.
Item 13. Surplus item, and thank you, board, for that one, because right now I already feel like a 50-pound weight has been lifted off one of my shoulders.
No problem.
Because it's,
I just need to
we need it.
Mhm.
I can't find those surplus items.
It's a IBM Lenovo Desktop Think Center, and it should say IBM Lenovo ThinkPad, not a ThinkPad.
Yep.
They just need to be gotten rid of, sent to, with, IT right, and have them do whatever they do to the hard drive.
I make the motion to declare one IBM Lenovo Desktop Think Center tag number 2185 and one IBM Lenovo ThinkPad T500 laptop tag number 2190 as surplus and send them away with IT right to dispose of them properly. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Boudreaux,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Zeiss,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Glenchen.
Yes. Extended public input.
You have to say something?
Yes.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I will be busy, which is good, and I thank you guys. That's your annual conference. To me, knowledge, with me, of course, you guys know I have some issues, health issues, but to me, I think it's great if I can learn even a little bit, even if I spend 8 hours doing those courses, to maybe only get 15 minutes of knowledge. To me, it's great. So I'm gonna thank, I'm gonna be doing that. If I find anything new, I'll try and pass it on to you guys, okay? Thanks, okay?
Thank you.
I'll be doing the same thing, Carl.
I don't know if I'll make the next board meeting, and I know I won't be helping on the cleanup.
Okay.
Cause the 26th, I get a new meeting, so
Oh, good.
I'm gonna be kinda,
The 26th of April?
yes.
You want us to carry you around?
And I didn't sign up for the online conference. I've gone back and forth so many times, but if I do it here in my office, I'm gonna be interrupted, distracted,
That's why I'm doing
and
it
my
from
phone's
home.
ringing, and I can't do it from home, so unless,
I did, I just finished some courses in 3 courses, so I'm just.
yeah,
Course
so
out.
just share whatever information, I'll save the
Because I didn't have- I looked at-
If I find,
$128
if I find something.
Right.
for something else.
Yeah,
It's
you don't
supposed
have
to be
to
with
select
print
it.
out too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I went back and forth, but after
Okay.
being in quarantine, I don't wanna be out of my office for 3 days for a virtual EMS conference.
You're not like me, I get a check tomorrow, I'm sitting around doing nothing, my social security check, yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Can I?
But
I
thank you
got a couple
guys
things
for
in my
being so
report that I
straight up with
forgot.
Absolutely, please.
Thanks, Fred.
I'm not
He's
leaving
got
it.
smart.
I apologize, I did forget a couple things in my report. So Brad Jewett, Grant Harris County Board of Commissioners again. Today we did have a special meeting, dealing with the Equalization Report for 2021. We did approve the 2021 Equalization Report. And also in our meeting today, it was not originally on our agenda, but a commissioner brought it up. We did eliminate the online public comment. And we are still accepting public comment. We can accommodate up to 75 people safely in the building, but between the technology issues and people from other states coming in saying, not saying their name and having public comment and everything, that is why we did it. We are not trying to squash anybody's public comment by any means and stuff. We're just trying to take care of some of the issues that we've had complaints about. And some of the public's been complaining about the same exact issues, so. Again, we're not trying to squash anybody's public comment or anything like that, but we're just trying to make it more feasible for everybody, so.
I did hear that today from a constituent,
Mhm.
that you guys had done that, we talked about it.
Yeah.
Yep, and I know there's been, we know how social media is and stuff like that. Some people complain saying we're trying to squash them and not allow them to speak and everything, and that's not the case. But, if anybody listened to our meeting last Wednesday, it was a train wreck. You know, we had technology issues left and right, and it wasn't just once or twice. I mean, it was throughout the whole meeting. We took several recesses because of it.
I couldn't even get on. I
Yeah.
tried multiple times.
Yep, and you know, and WebEx has been a great platform. We've not had any of the bombing like what happened tonight or anything like that. But you know, a week and a half ago, we went through another update with WebEx, so that made some of the problems there with connections and everything. And it's gone well overall, but we've also had our issues, as most people know, and everything like that. So anyway, but I just want to make sure people know we're not trying to squash public comment by any means, but we also need people from our community commenting, and we also need to be able to do it so we can understand them. You know?
Can people still submit in writing?
Yes.
You guys,
Yeah,
and then
email.
under the public comment part, like one of the commissioners would read it?
Absolutely.
So
That
like
was-
your rep, like,
that
so
was
I
just-
can submit.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, you can call me and I can say what Nicole Blonshine wants. You can email me. You can email the whole entire board. However, so there's still communication availability if you can't make it in person. But I also want to reiterate that if for some reason we were to exceed our 75, we would either adjourn and make accommodations however we need to, or take a long recess, whatever the case may be, or reschedule a meeting and
Right.
stuff like that. So, but we've had our issues, as I think probably every entity has, that has been doing virtual stuff, so.
And I will say as a constituent who has, with this COVID, consistently and regularly watched your guys' virtual meetings, I will say I am so impressed with how Rob, the chair, runs his meeting. It's hard. And I mean, even just tonight, and in this little teeny tiny capacity that we have right now with not 35 people waiting on the phone line to chime in, he's done a great job.
Rob has done a great job, and as co-host, we can see all the people on there, just as you mentioned. I mean, sometimes there's 35, 40 phone numbers, and
Yeah.
you know, to keep track of it all, Rob's done a very good job in making sure we don't miss anybody. And even when we think we have everybody, he goes back through it again and again and again. So, you know, despite the challenges and everything, I think we've done well and
I do
everything.
too.
But I think everybody can acknowledge that online meetings are not the same as being in person and everything. And you know,
For sure.
next week we could change it again. I don't know, depending on the needs of everything. But you know, that's where we're at. But I just I want the public to know that we are not trying to squash anybody from commenting or anything like that. In fact, there's several ways to communicate to us, and I would encourage them. I mean, that's how we hear a lot of things that we need to hear, is through public comment. So
Yeah.
that is what I wanted to add to my report. I do apologize for getting that just coming right in and getting right in here and whatnot, but anyway. So
I would've got you after the meeting. 'Cause
I know, but anyway, so.
we are gonna hear about it, but like I said, I already heard about it today.
Yeah.
Phone
Well, you
call.
know, I mean, the last 14 months have been challenging for all of us. I mean, on many different levels, and I'm gonna leave it as that, you know. But again, I think we've done well with our meetings. Have we had issues? Yes. We've had issues, and nobody's gonna say we don't. But, you know, we're trying our best every time. You know, every time we meet, we try our best, and one of our worst fears is to have communication issues. But it does happen. You know, so.
I think you guys have done great. I think the chair has done a great job virtually. It's hard. It's super hard. And in the meeting, the participation, the capacity that you guys have been at virtually, I cannot imagine. Cannot imagine. So I think you
Yeah,
guys have done
it
a
is.
good job.
I mean, it's essentially the same as what you guys did for a period of time, but we are on a larger scale.
Yeah.
We have a lot more public comment, and, you know, a lot of times bigger agendas and whatnot and everything, but, you know. I
Screen
think we've
sharing,
done well.
all of that.
Yeah, I mean, we've done well, and,
Yeah.
you know, I think if somebody has a better idea on how we can do it virtually, you know, we would be more than open to hear that and everything, but, you know, we got a great technology department, a great administrative staff, and everybody, from my experience, has been more than willing to accommodate. But then we get back to the technology side that fails us sometimes, and it's something that we don't have control over, so. But again, I just encourage people to reach out and submit their public comment, however it may be. We will listen to it, we will read it, we'll do what we need to do to make it work, so.
and I'll relay that.
Well, thank you, I appreciate that.
Probably better if people put their stuff in writing to you anyways, if they
Yeah.
can't attend it in person, just put it in writing and then it's documented in writing, which is always the best way to go, and
Yeah, that's definitely a good way to go. It's a lot better than you call me up and say, hey, read all the, or this is what I want to say, and then I get there and that's half of what you want me to say.
Right.
You know, so, definitely email us and, we can make sure it gets put on the record.
we certainly appreciate your participation. You are on both at our meetings. You guys do a great job. The county's done a great job. I know the road commission, they'll step up.
Yeah.
We're playing some phone tag right now. I mean, we lost our rep, but he's still here.
Yeah,
He just doesn't know anything.
I appreciate the communication that you guys have with Blair Township.
And I
And it's more
apologize
so, and
for a
I'm-
couple months ago, because Ron and I have been trying to go back and forth here, and, Ron was supposed to be at this one 2 months ago, and something came up and we totally forgot about it, so it was too late. And, you know, so, I mean, we're trying, but again, if you guys have questions, comments, thoughts for us, I think most of you know how to get a hold of us, but if not, our information's all over the county website, emails and phone numbers and addresses and everything, so, you know, feel free to reach out as always, so. But again, I appreciate you guys and everything you do for Blair Township and everything, so anything I can do to help out, just let me know.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah, Brad, I know you, anytime I have a question or anything, I know you're right there. You always I'll reiterate, thank you for the job you do, okay?
Thank you, I appreciate that too. Thank you, everybody.
You gonna adjourn?
Patrick, you have any input? Eric Sansel,
No, thank you.
Andy? Meeting adjourned.